Oh, we keep going with the MrBeast thing. Guys, this is going to go in a slightly different direction than some of the other videos. So, Jake Weddle, the fellow that was on Dogpack 404's second video that went through the psychological damage from the video that never got aired. Uh, Very emotional interview with Dogpack 404. He was sent a recording from a random number that caught MrBeast on hot mic, pretty much nail in the coffin stuff. Except he didn't. That's not what happened. Someone sent Jake an AI generated audio recording. And for a minute, Jake thought, oh, I have something here. And I'm going to be able to justify or vindicate myself with what I've said. And then after a while, and after getting analyzed and it coming back as only 2% likelihood of AI, it still came out to be AI generated. So you take anything that you see here, guys, that you're finding online, and approach it with a grain of salt and look really into it to make sure that what you're seeing is sincerely evidence of something, of some malpractice or wrongdoing. I said it in the last video, you guys got to wait to see when all the facts come out what's really going on. There's a lot of accusations there. Right now, the most damning thing that most of us think about is the Delaware thing. The thing with Jake Weddle, it looks really bad. It looks like psychological torture. It looks like something from a sadomasochistic mindset from Jimmy the Beast, you know, that kind of thing. And then you hear this, Jake says in the same video, he says, hey, Jimmy reached out to me. He wanted to make everything right. He offered to give him the 190,000 other dollars that he didn't get from that challenge. He said, hey, I just want to make it right with you. I don't expect you to share this with anyone or tell anyone about it. This is between you and I. That is a good sign. That's not buying somebody off. Now, Jake, of course, did come out and say, hey, because a person with integrity is going to do that. And integrity in a situation like this is very important. If you're going on a situation that's mostly hearsay, word of mouth stuff, you have to have integrity in your sources. If you don't have integrity in your sources, you don't have a reliable source. And everyone comes out looking the fool except for the person being accused. That's why in this country, the burden of proof is on the accuser, not the person being accused. Now, it looks like Jimmy may have a good soft spot in his heart after all. So maybe he's not so evil. Maybe. We still have the issue with Delaware to be addressed. I haven't seen anything about that yet. But I can understand why he would be hesitant to bring that up. If he hired a known pedo, a registered known pedo, to be involved. I heard an argument, I guess Jake the Viking is the guy that was the brother-in-law of said pedo. And it sounds like maybe the guy was falsely accused and the records have just not been fixed yet. Or it's going to be, he used the wrong term. He said, I want to say expunged, which means wiped from your record. But I think the word he's looking for would be not expunged, because that just means they wipe it away even though you're guilty. They just clean your record. I think they meant to retract the charges. I can't remember what the term is. I don't know why my brain stopped working there for a moment. It does that periodically if you can't tell. But yeah, so there are still allegations there. I don't particularly want to see MrBeast fail. I don't want anyone to fail, just to clarify, unless he's just a super bad guy. And it doesn't seem, especially from this last information we get from Jake, that he is. So he does have a heart. You don't just do that without pomp and circumstance if you're just trying to cover stuff up. You do that brashly and, overtly. And he did it what I think is an appropriate way, is to go and just talk to him in general and try to make things right as a person. Because that's where you fix things from the ground up if you actually care about people. If you're just some corporate monster machine, you don't care about that. All you care about is the bottom line. And this could be CYA. This could be cover your ass moves on Jimmy's part, but I don't think so. In this case, again, I don't know the guy. I'm just interested to see where this goes for a number of reasons. One, it's a great study in psychology of business, and it's a great study of psychology of fandoms, among other things. It's worrisome that someone would have so many, perverts, but, perverts are a dime a dozen in reality in this country, let's be real. Maybe worse in Japan, but nowhere else, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how the human mind works in every country. I know in America there's a bunch of pervs. It's just all we're a bunch of pervs, guys. Sex sells. It's just a reality. Unfortunately, we don't need to use it for children. We don't need to use it in that direction. That's not what the term means when sex sells, guys. So, yeah. Luckily, we have some good news. A pro on Jimmy here. I'm going to give MrBeast a win on this one, a W, because I think it came from a sincere place, judging by how Jake says it. Jake seems like a little bit of an emotional fella, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you gotta weigh that too. There's a cost-benefit analysis you gotta weigh with hyper-emotional people in situations. And he's a stand-up comic. And I don't know if you've met stand-up comics, but we're unhinged. Like we're capable and we're intelligent, but we do stray from sane once in a while. You know, we shift into that realm of not being normal on more than one occasion. That's why we're funny, because we're trauma bonding with the audience. I'm telling you, that's how it works. But keep in mind, get all the evidence before you make or any accusation. And also, what do you have vested in MrBeast falling? What do you have vested personally in MrBeast succeeding? Is it saving face because you're standing up for the guy and he's innocent? Is it because you're a huge fan? Is that your gain from it? Do you want to see people succeed because you want to see people succeed? And what do you have to gain from his failure if he fails from this? Do you want to gain personal influence? Does it help you as a person to watch this man's life topple if it does? Because I don't think it helps anybody to topple someone who has hundreds of employees. Whether he's good or not as an individual, he owns a business. And he has lots of employees. He provides the living for a lot of people. A lot of people feed their kids with that income. A lot of people pay their mortgages with that income or purchase cars with that income. They go to restaurants. Those restaurants hire staff to serve the people that go eat at those restaurants. And that's how they pay to provide for their family. And then they go buy things that are made in a factory, and the worker at the factory takes that money to pay for his family. That's how the economy works, guys. Seeing someone collapse and the loss of hundreds of jobs doesn't sound like a good thing to me in this economy right now, or ever. So kudos to Jimmy for doing the right thing in this and reaching out to Jake, and I'm glad that happened. I would like you to address Delaware. I think everyone else would like you to address Delaware. Personally, I'm not owed any apology. My kids don't watch MrBeast. I'm not someone who's watched a lot of MrBeast. But there are people who have kids that watch MrBeast, and you owe them an apology, dude. If you hired this guy knowing, and he was there before you had a big human resources department. If you had a big human resources department, you could chalk it up and push the blame down the line. Shit flows downhill, dude. So, but when you're one step removed from the head of the company, or 2 steps removed from the head of the company, you don't have a lot of coverage there, dog. And when you go and you scrap all the video, like wipe all the videos of you looking at lolly art on your buddy's wall, you didn't look thrilled with it. I'll give you that. But he worked for you. I know it was early on in your career. Maybe you didn't think about it back then. Hindsight's 20/20. I'm sure you've apologized for that. I guess wiping it out of the videos would be a good thing if you said the reason you wiped it out is because you don't want kids accidentally coming across that. How about you just delete those videos with him in it altogether? Delete all the videos that person's in and then call it good. Maybe that'll work. You'll take a hit financially, but you'll show a lot of good faith to a lot of people who look up to you. There's a lot, I mean, on the other side, there's a lot of people that look up to you that don't care at all because they don't have the same moral guidelines as some people. So maybe you don't care. I don't know. I'm just sitting here making content about it, so whatever. I got 16 followers, man. I don't lose anything from this. I don't gain nothing. I don't lose nothing. It's just interesting conversation. All right, guys. Again, vet everything you see. Don't just believe what you see on the internet, dude. Otherwise, there'd be a bunch of people rich from Nigerian princes right now. All right. I'm going to go cut some hedges. I got yard work to do before the rain comes in. I'm going to go play some video games or something. I don't know. All right. Moo out.